In this part of Unit 1, Numbers, we are going to talk about the recurring decimals on page 5, where you are going to remember that all fractions can be written as a decimal, which means that in all decimals, when you divide the numerator by the denominator, the answer will always be a decimal number, which either terminates, that means the digits in the decimal place can be specific and then end up, or produce a set of recurring digits. Recurring digits means repeating digits. In other words, when we divide the numerator by the denominator, the result is not terminated, but repeated in the decimal place, and this is what is meant by recurring digits. To understand what is meant by the decimal place can terminate or produce recurring digits, we will take the same examples. We have these forms of fractions. To divide these fractions, we use the calculator. Let's divide 1 over 5. The answer is 0.2. I have only one number 2 in the decimal place, and there are no other numbers in the decimal place. Now, let's take 3 over 4. If we divide it, the answer will be 0.75. We have two numbers in the decimal place, 75, and the process of division is terminated. Now, 7 divided by 200, if we divide it, the answer will be 0.035. I have three numbers in the decimal place, 035, and the process of division is terminated. So these forms of fractions, when we divide them, we observe that we can write them as decimals, where the decimal numbers are terminated, which means they end as a certain value. Whereas, on the other side, to explain what is meant by recurring digits, we will take these examples. Let's take the first example, 1 divided by 3. Use the calculator. The answer is 0.33333. The number continues as shown in the calculator, so it's not terminated, so it produces a set of recurring digits. What is a repeated number? It is the number 3. So we can write it as a dot notation 0.3 and put dot over number 3, which means that 3 is repeated to an unspecified number of times. Now, if we divide 2 by 11, the answer will be 0.18181818 and so on. The number that is repeated in the decimal place is 18, so I can write 0.18 and put dots over 1 and 8. Which means that 18 is the number that is repeated in the decimal place. While if we divide 2 by 27, the answer will be 0.074074, and so on. So the repeated numbers in the decimal place are 074. And since the repeated numbers are more than 3 numbers, we write 0.074 and put dots only over 0 and 4. Which means that we put dots over the first and last numbers only. This is the same as 0.074, 074, and so on. As for 8 over 15, when we divide it, we get 0.53333 and so on. Here we can find out that the repeated digit is 3, while 5 is not repeated. So we write 0.53 and put the dot only over 3, which means that number 5 exists only once while number 3 is repeated. In the last example, if we divide 3 over 22, we get 0.1363636 and so on. Which means that number 1 exists only once while the repeated numbers are 3 and 6. So we write 0.136 and put dots only over 3 and 6 since they are the only repeated digits in the decimal place. This is what is meant that every fraction can be written as a decimal number, where the digits found in the decimal place can be either terminated or repeated in a pattern. So at the end, this is what we have to know about recurring decimals.